Ruby and Kevin Frank from the 8 Passengers Family Vlog channel have been the center of a lot of rumors and speculation this past week. There's been a lot that's been said about this family in the last couple years, and the fact that they have separated themselves from their other family members in order to live this strict lifestyle in which Ruby refers to as living in truth. Over the years, they've been called out for their harsh and embarrassing parenting that they have documented and shared on their YouTube channel called 8 Passengers for millions to see. But after receiving so much backlash from sharing their kids online, Ruby and Kevin this year decided to stop posting on their main YouTube channel, and instead they focused on a new path of life with a woman named Jody. Together, they all created content under the name Connections. There's a YouTube channel for this and a Facebook group, and they call on mothers living in truth to join and come to them for advice. This advice has been met with lots of criticism from the public, who have seen some of the things that they've said on their Facebook group and videos on their YouTube channel, and as much as they claim their beliefs aren't religion-based, it does feel like that most of the time with the advice that they're giving. For example, someone in the group said, "My kids always come first," and Connections replied, "May I invite you to see the truth? God needs to come first, not kids. When you finally place God in front of everyone in your life, then you can begin to truly love everyone. Keep God first." It sounds pretty religious to me, and there's nothing wrong with religion, but like I said, they've claimed their advice is based in truth and not of any religion. But as for what's going on with them right now, there's been a lot going on behind the scenes in the 8 Passenger household, I will tell you that. We have a lot to break down, as lots of you guys have been in my DMs wondering if I've heard some of the recent rumors that have gone on between Ruby and Kevin, and if I've seen some of the stuff that's been going on with their older daughter on social media. So let's start with some of the rumors, because I want to be very clear that nothing is for a fact. There's a lot being said online, and the things that you guys have sent me or things that you guys have sent me that you've heard about, I don't have any proof other than just people on Reddit saying they heard something from a source or they heard something from word of mouth, they have a credible source, all this stuff. I'm saying take this information with a grain of salt. This is all alleged information. I don't know if it's true or not, but right now on the internet, people are claiming two separate things. There's two different rumors going around surrounding the 8 Passengers family. One is that they are separated, and that Ruby's obsession with her Connections Facebook group and her seeking living in truth has driven her and Kevin apart. The other is that their oldest son has moved away from their home and is not living with them anymore. I've heard that he's maybe living with Kevin somewhere separate from Ruby, but that's literally nothing that the family themselves have posted about or spoken about. These rumors all started a few days ago when a Reddit user spoke out about hearing the fact that Kevin and Ruby are not on speaking terms and that their son had moved elsewhere. And somebody posted that this move had been confirmed. They said an anonymous user came forward and shared concrete evidence of the move. They wished to not give details in order to maintain their privacy, as they do have a relationship with the family. Kevin's move has not been verified, but Chad is supposedly out of the house. Update: it has also been claimed by members of their social circle that Kevin and Ruby do not have contact with each other currently. Like I said, you guys, take it with a grain of salt, but this is what you guys have been sending me. This is what I've been DM'd, tagged in, all this stuff. These are the rumors. I am aware of them. What I will say is that Ruby has joined the Connections group and has invested so much of her time and energy into creating content surrounding this belief in truth. It is very true that over the last year especially, she has really dove deep into this, and the way that she talks and speaks and her perspectives on life and family and all this stuff has really changed from what she used to say in YouTube videos years ago. This new way of life has led her to losing touch with her sisters, her parents, and that is stuff that has been confirmed, that she is not in touch with her family. And I've talked about it in prior videos that Ruby's sister Julie has literally been the one to confirm this, to say that Ruby hasn't seen any of their family at any family events because she has chosen to separate herself from her family. And just going based off of advice that she and her partner on Connections, Jody, have given other people, if someone is not living in truth, they have got to go from your life.
If you choose not to abide by the expectations of this household, then you are in effect saying, I don't want to be part of this household. And that would be your choice. And you are welcome to leave.
The advice being spread in this group is truly so harsh and really does not leave any room for empathy or any sort of trying to understand other people and what other people are going through. The rules they are living by seem so strict that it seems like if you are not a perfect human, then you are just a horrible person and you do not need to be in Miss Ruby or Jody's life. And we've talked about on this channel before that Ruby has always been a strict parent with her kids. That's why her and her husband Kevin were called out for their family channel in the first place. But she's only increased her level of strictness and her expectation for not only people, but for kids. And we all know that kids just act the way that they want to act. And yeah, like kids live within boundaries and you have to respect adults and stuff, but kids are going to be kids and they're going to mess up. And that's why when you're growing up, you learn things. You learn things for adulthood and mistakes are bound to happen. Not everyone is perfect, but based on the things that Jody and Ruby have said in the Connections group, it just seems like there's no room for error no matter how old you are. And that is just so sad. There's like zero compassion for other people being expressed at all in any of the advice that they are giving. The messages being spread have led people to believe that they are not supportive of things like the LGBTQ plus community. They don't believe in mental health struggles, and it just feels like they don't believe in any other emotion other than being happy, respectful, and working hard. Like there's no room for being anything else. And she's been teaching her own children that negative emotions are a form of distortion. And she's been sharing on the Connections page and in videos that any sort of emotion that is not those is a form of distortion. There is a video on the Connections page that shows her kids coloring distortion versus truth emotions, and the emotions under the truth, you can see they say happy, trust, honest, humble, aware, and under distortion, you guys, it says fear, stuck, chaos, lies, anger, depression, anxiety. Like, why is that all associated with like distortion and these thorns and this sad face? Like, it's really sad feelings of fear, depression, anxiety are being labeled as distortion, and it's not being taught as a valid human emotion that everyone can experience. It doesn't make you a bad person to feel those feelings, and the fact that it's being taught as this negative thing that you should like suppress in order to be humble and honest and truth, like live in truth. Like, what is that? Don't suppress your feelings. If you are feeling some type of way, feel your feelings. You're really not going to get anywhere if you just like push them down deep inside of you. That I feel like the way that she's teaching it, especially on this Facebook group, is that if you feel these things, choose not to, girl. Just be happy. Anxiety, push it away.
Anxiety, as horrible and debilitating as it feels, you still have choice. And that's one of the things that I am responsible for teaching my children.
As far as being anxious and fear, I'm in because I am nervous about the Christmas party tonight. I'm entitled to stay in bed all day. Society will say that's kind of okay. No one's saying, oh yeah, that's really wrong or that's distorted. They're saying, yeah, you're entitled to that. So it's all entitlement.
Like, what? Seriously, like, there's so many people that have commented under advice that Ruby has given, like, oh my god, thank you. If only I knew I could just choose to not have anxiety. Like, come on, like, let's be realistic. Life is hard, people struggle, and that is okay. It's okay, it's normal, it's life. Let's teach that if you have anxiety, you have depression, you feel fear, you feel anger, let's talk about our feelings. Let's find a way to release those feelings so we can get to a place where we feel happy and content. That is not what's being taught here. It's like, if you have anxiety and you feel sad, you want to lay down? Nope, that's bad. Negative, sad face. Like, what? You guys, she literally has a video talking about how you need to like stop like relaxing. If you feel some type of way, just go to bed.
So relaxing. Relaxing in the Bible shows up 0 times. That's because it's not a principle. The word rest shows up in the Bible 257 times. Rest is a principle of truth. The movement of being relaxed, of relaxing, is to check out. It's to disconnect. Break open the ice cream and I'm going to recover and watch Netflix. Rest, on the other hand, has a movement of connecting with the here and now. Resting says, I'm going to look at my life and I'm going to take some time and I'm going to review how I am showing up in my life.
Like, what? Some people need to like decompress. But anyway, people have speculated that Ruby could be so deep into this lifestyle of living and believing in truth to the point that it could not only have separated her from her parents and her siblings, but from Kevin and some of her kids. She hasn't spoken out directly about these rumors, but she did address a question on their Facebook group about divorce and her views on it.
If marriage is an outcome of two people living inside truth, who commit to living a life of a higher law, aka the more responsible way of living, then divorce is when one or two people decide they are not going to live in truth and they are going to be irresponsible, dishonest, and prideful. And they are going to break their commitment to living in truth. And they're going to break the commitment to living a higher law.
Some people feel as though the thought process she's sharing could somewhat be related to a situation she might be in, since people think that she believes in truth and maybe Kevin doesn't anymore, and that's why she was saying all of that, because he has not been as active in the Facebook group as he once was. He used to be posting in Connections all the time, he used to be in videos all the time, and now he is nowhere to be seen on the Connections group. He also isn't on Instagram anymore. He deactivated his account once all the speculation started going around. It could all just be a coincidence, but this is just things that people have been pointing out. Some people were also noting that she wasn't wearing her ring in this video, but like I said, it's all just speculation. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if it's even true that they're separated, but for a fact, Ruby's siblings have blamed Connections for being the root as to the reason why Ruby is not in their family. Her sister Julie had said before that Ruby chose to distance herself, but didn't explain in much detail why, but she said in a comment specifically, Connections has torn families apart. It is not a good group to be affiliated with, and hopefully one day she will realize it. She also liked a comment where someone said, her Connections views and content is so wild and offensive. Maybe she did you guys a favor. They talk so much trash about their family in the workshops. How sad. To hear her own sister say that Connections is tearing families apart, now people are believing that it's torn Ruby's literal own family apart, like her and her husband and her kids. Like, that is sad. Now, as for her oldest daughter, Sherry, she is in college now. She's a full-on adult living away from home, and she's on social media on her own now. She's choosing to be online. She has recently changed her Instagram handle to no longer associated with the 8 Passengers name. She's going by official Sherry Frank now, and she has also just refollowed Ruby's sisters, Ellie and Bonnie. And people feel like this might be a sign that she has kind of changed her views on some things, and she is maybe trying to rebuild a relationship with Ruby's side of the family. She's also unfollowed a lot of conservative Instagram pages. She once used to follow a lot, and she's now started to follow more liberal media outlets, sensing she's changing views from what she was once surrounded by while living with her parents. And people are really hoping that these changes and realizations truly mean that she is going to repair relationships with Ruby's parents and with her aunts and uncle. I really do hope that this family can heal and come together again, because the rest of them are so close. Like, Ruby's sisters and her brother, like, they're always hanging out. They're always getting emotional when they have to say goodbye to each other. I think it's really adorable how close they all are, and it's just sad to think that Ruby is just off in her own world believing that truth is better than family. It's so sad. But that is what is going on with Ruby and Kevin as of recent, and the things that have come to light. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure on some of the information, but this is all that I know of so far. So I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.